which he was in the local area, so that made sense. Second of all, you were making the argument. You were making the argument for the bipartisan border deal, though. Yes, you are, because
I don't want 7 things. I want one bill. I'm a one bill guy.
All right.
What do you mean that is one bill?
Want to stop the border? Cool. I'm not paying for Ukraine.
What is your
guys? I'm getting harassed. We gotta go.
True.
That's brunette airhead and Fox News useless person Jessica Tarlov going toe-to-toe with Tyrus on the 5 over immigration. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and Jessica Tarlov is at it again. But what else can you expect from the Vice President of Research and Consumer Insights at Bustle, a group that's put out such hard-hitting pieces of journalism like how your zodiac sign would handle in the zombie apocalypse, and a polyamorous couple's guide to sleeping with multiple partners. Here she is talking about the border crisis.
Jesse's right that there are a bunch of people for whom immigration is their #1 issue, but they all identify as Republicans. The latest Quinnipiac poll, for instance, has the #1 issue for Democrats as preserving democracy, something that Joe Biden talks about a lot and obviously has a great case. Ranking it as the #1 issue and saying this is going to define the election has failed for Republicans repeatedly. 2018, the caravan started.
Trump won on immigration.
I'm talking about 2018 and 2020 when we had these caravans, right? Do you remember? And then, right, they stopped because also it was an illusion that we were having a mass invasion, and people didn't like that kind of language.
Right. So Republicans are only concerned with immigration and the economy, while Democrats are concerned with protecting democracy, which they've turned into some sort of nebulous, abstract catch-all term that means basically whatever they want it to. Kind of like what they did with the word racist. I mean, search that or the phrase threat to democracy and see what turns up. Twitter is a threat to democracy. Trump is a threat to democracy. Christians are a threat to democracy. The Supreme Court is a threat to democracy. This is all nonsense. Immigration is one of the top concerns of all Americans, and that's according to a recent Gallup poll. Jessica just can't get her head out of her rear to notice.
Lake and Riley, it's a terrible tragedy, but it doesn't mean that these are all bad hombres that are coming across. I mean, he says that they're poisoning the country.
What are they here for?
To work?
What are millions of single military-aged men from China, from countries where they don't have any kind of documentation, where they're terror hotspots from all around the world? What do you think they're here for?
You think that
they're not
all
working?
The
They're not working. They're getting debit cards from the mayor of New York.
No,
they're taking over hotels in Washington D.C. They've taken over a homeless shelter. This gang of illegal immigrants who've come in. They've completely taken the street over.
Does that mean they're
wielding knives? I've seen them. They're dealing drugs. They're getting arrested. It's not just Lake and Riley. I can give you dozens of examples of people who've been victims of crimes.
Did you hear her when she said, "Does that mean they're poisoning the country?" Yes, Jessica, it does. I mean, you're talking about an unknown, unverified, illegal population draining our resources, taking the jobs of U.S. citizens, and in some cases attacking and killing them. Are some of them nice? Sure, of course. But if I were to tell you to drink an unknown, unverified substance that had a chance of harming you, killing you, or rendering you unable to work, but might also do nothing, what would you call that? Would you define it by its potential hazards? Which aspect of that would you be more focused on? Thankfully, Tyrus was here to point out all of Jessica's nonsense.
I'll say it. The man was a minority. He was an invasive, illegal alien who killed an American citizen, and even one's too many. And we need to say that. Now, let's just say that. Let's just take their talking points. When somebody missteps and misdiagnoses somebody's gender or gets their name wrong, there will be somebody that will come out and be like, this affects everyone. This affects the whole community. Everyone's offended because Jesse said dang to Tyrus the day after Black History Month, and then we'll just stretch it out from there, and I was triggered. It only works on their side of the street. It only works on simple things that you can fix that don't matter. Anyone that comes into this country illegally, we're not against people immigrating. We're against people coming in the wrong way. And if you don't, and people who want to say it's racist because it hasn't hit them yet, wait until somebody hurts your family member. Wait till you get robbed and you ask what happened to the guy. Well, he's a this, that, whatever.
That's an excellent point he made there. The left is content to break culture and society in the name of their favorite pet victim groups, which only constitute a fraction of a percent of the population. Because to them, if just one life is affected, that's a national tragedy. But if it's the other way around, it's just a few bad apples. I mean, who cares if we don't know who these people are? They're cheap labor. You heard Jessica, they're here to work. And people like her need a healthy servant class to exploit that makes them feel charitable and virtuous. I mean, you get to save money and brag about how open-minded you are? That's how hybrids and electric cars became so popular, and sounds like a win-win in my book. I mean, who cares if there are unintended consequences? Certainly not them. But let me know what you think. Is this something that's important to all Americans or just those hateful Republicans? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Boy!